Hi there! In this chapter, we will discuss the notion of data dictionary, which is very important for ABAP. In SAP, there are many different types of data: tables, views, structures, data elements, and so on. Thus, each data present in the software is stored in one or more data tables, both the data directly provided by SAP, but also those that you enter manually via certain transactions, for example. These tables are composed of fields related to its use. This is not always easy to understand, and is also sometimes very abstract. The easiest way is to start from the beginning, assimilate the basics in order to understand what follows. To better understand, let's take the example of our sales order via the VA03 transaction. We can see inside this transaction a lot of information. Each of them is located inside a table. And to view the data in a table, we can use transaction SE16N, and we can see here the general table display. We can find here the table VBAK, which corresponds to sales document header data. And we can find here our sales document number. I write here and click on the online button. And we can find here every information that we have just seen previously in our transaction. I can go back and I can show you also technical name column here, which will be very useful for us. But then, what is a table? And above all, how and what is it composed of? A table is a set of data, composed of different fields within it. In SAP, these fields are linked to data elements, which provide them with specific attributes often linked to the context of use. And finally, these fields are defined by what is called the domain. In short, the data element is the functional type, meaning an overlay of a technical type, the domain. In order for it to be filled with data, the table must first exist and therefore be defined, created. This is what we are going to do together right now. First, we will define what it will be composed of, and to make it simple, we are simply going to assign two different fields to it, one existing, the client, and one to be created, a customer. Let's start directly by creating the field we will need, and to do so, we will start with the domain. As a reminder, this is the technical definition of a data type. Let's go to the SE11 transaction and indicate name. Here, why not ZN clients, which will represent the name of our customer. Let's select the Create button to reach domain view. And here, we are in the Dictionary Change Domain view. Quick aside here. Throughout our series, I would like to rely on the principle of getting to the point, and therefore to mention the fields that are useful for understanding and learning ABAP. This will allow you to focus on the essentials elements and not to get lost. The complexity will increase as the series progresses, don't worry. We are here again in our Change Domain view, and here we need to fill in the mandatory fields to create our domain. So the first thing to indicate is a short description here. We will write clients, because our domain will represent a client. And in the definition part, you can see the data type. In fact, you can have different data types in SAP, such as integer, characters, and so on, to define which type of data will remain in this field. For example, we have choose a character string data type, and also we have indicate a number of characters equal to 100. So our fields will contain some characters, and maximum number of characters will be 100. For this part, we can now save, and you can see that ZN clients is saved in our data in SAP. You can also see here the status new. It indicates that you just created the domains, but you need to activate it to be able to use it in a program. We can see now that it's active, and we can continue. Now that we have defined our technical part, the domain, we can create our data elements. So we choose the data type here, and we write ZN clients, so the same name. You can keep the same, and you click on create button. And here you need to choose which element you will create. Data element, structures, table type, but here in our example we will choose data element and continue. Here we are in the change data element dictionary part. To be able to create our data element, we will need to fill in different information. The first one is the short description like the domain. You need to tell to SAP what it is and also to inform the other people that work with you. The second thing to fill in is the domain. In fact, you create the data element to explain to SAP which function will be part of your data element. But you need also to define technical part and define here the domain with character string and length to 100. After that, you have the field label part, and with this part, you need to define to SAP which field label you will find in a short and also in a medium way for your data element. I go back in data type and everything is filled in. We can save. We can also activate to change the status, and now our data element is activated. We can finally create our database table, Z clients. We need to write here the name for our database and click on create. And we have arrived here in the dictionary change table. As usual, we need to give a short description for our transparent table. So here, clients. And the next step is the delivery class. Indeed, you need to tell to SAP which type of table you will have. So different tables like application tables, customizing, and so on. So for our example, we choose the delivery class A application table for master data. And the last point here is data browser table view editing. You need to explain to SAP if you allows or not to fill in the tables with some data directly, manually by some people. For our example, we will display maintenance allowed the table to be able to fill in this manually. The next step is taking part in the field labels here, and we will indicate the different fields that we want in our table. So I write here the first field, a field that's already existing in SAP, and I will write the data element MANDT. This data element already exist in SAP, and you can see that SAP has recovered the data type with also the length. So we haven't created this together, and now I will add the second field, which we have created just previously together, the client. ZN clients in our data element, and you can also see that data type and length has been recovered by SAP. You can notice that in the field here, I have written what I want, so I don't need to begin with a dead like in the data element. You can write here something that is clearly explain what it is. I make again a small aside here by checking the K field box. At least one of the fields must be unique, allowing filters, searches, and so on to be performed later. But we'll come back to this in a future video on the database and SQL language. So now we can save, and we will go in the pop-up to create here the object dictionary entry, and SAP wants to give a package. So just in short terms, a package is like a folder in Windows, and you can give everything related to the same subject in the same package, like you can put some files in the folder and so on. When I have choose my package, I can save, and the second step here is the transport request. I don't want to go deeper in this part because we will check it in the next videos to explain clearly what is a transport request, the different systems, and so on. So I continue here, and our table ZN clients is saved. Now that we have saved our tables, we need to make one more things, and we need to define some technical information for our table. Indeed, SAP wants some more information about our tables, and we need to go in the technical settings just here to precise two information. The first one here in the logical memory parameters, the data class. In fact, SAP wants to know which type of table we will use, master data, transaction data, and so on. For example, I will choose master data, and the second is the size category, how many records you can put in the table. I will choose the less information, so 2900, and I will save. I can activate the technical settings, and now you can see that activation of technical settings for the table is successful. I can go back, and now I can do the last modification to give an enhancement category for our table. So you can see here our table is not classified, and we will choose one, enhancement category of structure. So we need to define if it cannot be enhanced, can be enhanced with character like, can be enhanced deep, and so on. We will choose cannot be enhanced for this exercise. Just an information for SAP, I can copy, and now our table is okay. We can activate, and we can see the status active here. The table is ready to use. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to give us a feedback on this series and tell us if you like the concept. See you soon for our next episode.